Hey guys, Shadow Reviewer here, and today I'll be reviewing H20 Just Add Water Season 1, Episode 18, Bad Moon Rising. And boy, do we have a good one for you here. Oh, where do I begin? I mean, we had Emma becoming a mermaid permanently for 12 hours. We had Cleo being a siren. Now we got Rikki. And, her powers pretty much get out of control. As she touches, either blows up, heats up, or just pretty much burns. It pretty much burns everything. And all to say, Sabrina Hines' performance goes from completely funny to freaking amazing. This episode is just amazing. I mean, what can I honestly say? It's a pretty good story. I mean, Rikki's powers pretty much get out of control when she's moonstruck. I'll talk about that in a bit. I mean, she pretty much runs away and creates havoc on Maker Island. Honestly, picking the best bit in this episode is gonna be fucking tricky. I mean, I'll try and do my best. Number 1. When she gets moonstruck. And what can I say? Whereas Emma's, they didn't know. They thought Miss Chatham was a nutcase. With Cleo, that could have been avoided. I mean, that was so dumb. But with Rikki, it was pretty much an unforeseen accident. And pretty ironic, she said earlier, oh, I can't resist the big bad moon, when really she can't. I mean, you'll know better than Emma and Cleo, Rikki. You're seriously not. But that's not the best part about this. It's her reaction and the shot. Wow. I mean, her facial expression tells it all. When Emma got moonstruck, it was pretty much confused. I don't know, it's hard to explain. With Cleo, she seems rather curious, like, what am I supposed to do? Should I touch the water? What? With Rikki, she pretty much just becomes mesmerized, like she shouldn't stop looking. I mean, her eyes, the face, she doesn't even speak. Her whole face says it all as she looks down at the moon's reflection in a glass of water she happens to be holding at the time. It is incredible. I mean, Sabrina Hines, like I said, is fantastic. It's not just her vocal performance or her physical performance. Her facial expressions are amazing, and this pretty much tells it all. It's great, and I absolutely love it. I keep replaying that moment every single time, and it's amazing. Okay, number 2. Zane's whole subplot in this episode. I mean, yeah, it's the whole fish that saved me subplot, but it leads to probably my next pick. I'll get to that in a bit. It generally feels real. I mean, he enlists Cleo's dad to help him out, and even though he doesn't believe him at first, he is willing to help Zane. I mean, that's generally nice. As much as Zane is kind of a annoying rich kid, at least Cleo's dad, Don, actually wants to help out every once in a while. I mean, he immediately helps them out after Zane gives him proof that the monster saved him. Not bad, I'll give him that. And that leads me to my number 3. The scene with Zane and Rikki at Mako Island is amazing. I mean, what a great writing there. I mean, Zane goes to find Rikki all alone, fire around her, and he immediately comforts her. I mean, oh my god, why doesn't Zane have more moments like this? I mean, Rikki is pretty much done with all of this. She's pretty much done. And Zane, honestly, what can I say? This is freaking great! And I find it hilarious that the way Rikki thanks him is by kissing him, sucking all the water and sweat out of his body and knocking him out. I mean, that is freaking dark, and I love it. And surprisingly, Zane kind of liked that she kissed him. I mean, it's kind of funny, really. I mean, one hell of a kiss. That is freaking hilarious to me. And then, I mean, those best moments are freaking perfect, stacked on top of each other. But I'm not done here yet. There's even some minor details in there that I absolutely love. It's freaking great. The way Rikki touches the drinks and the food, the way that he evaporates the water, because the soda is pretty much liquid, and it just blows up. It's kind of like when you put Mentos in soda, it blows up. I freaking love it. And even when Rikki runs away, I like to believe that when she touched the handle of the door, it automatically reduces sweat. I mean, we all know how our bodies generate. We tend to sweat. And seeing how sweat is moist, hence water, I like to buy into that Emma was able to freeze it. That's actually freaking clever detail I absolutely love. And even though Lewis is helpful here, I like how they immediately kicked him out. I mean, if you watched my episode 12, more than the description, considering what happened in that episode, I am honestly with them here. Because, I mean, he is kind of ungrateful here. Ungrateful here. I mean, wow, this is the things I get. Wow, Lois. Emma just told you straight up. I promised my parents no boys. And he's kind of bratty here. Hell, even when Miss Chanther arrives later, he's like, oh, great. So, yeah, your Yoda act might work on these two, but it's not gonna work on me. Wow, Lewis. Way to be a bit bitchy here. I mean, oh yeah, and when even with Rikki wanting to do this alone, I mean, her powers alone, Miss Chatham said, is the most dangerous out of the three of them. She doesn't want to hurt anybody. I mean, she's worried that she might hurt somebody with her powers, and that feels real. I mean, if I had powers like that and they were dangerous, I would immediately tell the people I care about, stay away from me, I might hurt you. And I love that Emma and Cleo are willing to try and help her, even when she tells them that I'm alone for my own good. I mean, that's great character writing, and it shows why I love this show. All three of these girls are downright great characters here. I mean, they're willing to help each other out no matter their flaws. I mean, Cleo being too trusting, Emma being too bossy, and Rikki being, well, Rikki. Honestly, Rikki doesn't even change here. I mean, yeah, she gets moonstruck, but her personality pretty much stays the same. When Emma got moonstruck, she felt more loofy and silly. With Cleo, she becomes cute little child. With Rikki, she pretty much just stays the same. I mean, honestly, what can I say? This episode is packed to the gills with everything. I mean, I'm there is no doubt that I'm giving this episode a 10 out of 10. Perfect episode, great writing, great character, and overall, this is just fucking perfect. I mean, it's awesome. And I don't think it's ever going to get topped at some point. If I ever get to seasons 2 and 3, I might change my mind. Who knows? We'll get into next week with episode 19, Hurricane Angela. I have some mixed feelings about that episode. Until then, I'm the Shadow Reviewer, signing off.